What is up, my friends? I just got out of Final Destination Bloodlines, and this is a movie that I've been anticipating since the day that it was announced. Even before that, there were rumors that they're working on a new Final Destination project. This is a franchise that I go way back with. I've seen every single one of them in theaters, and although this franchise has had its highs and lows, I was still looking forward to this movie, especially when I heard about Bloodlines, this new idea of it running in the family. And so the premise seemed awesome, and then I saw the first trailer, and I was pretty much sold. They also had some really clever marketing. They showed a snippet, and they've done a lot of really neat things, but at the end of the day, when it comes to marketing and when it comes to trailers, like, you don't really know how something's gonna be until you go and see it. And I have now seen this movie, and man, I have a lot to talk about. This will be an out-of-theater reaction as well as my spoiler-free review, so don't worry about getting spoiled. I'm not gonna reveal anything, but I do want to hear from you guys, so make sure to comment your thoughts down below, and let's dive in. So, I just want to say off the top, getting out of this movie, it's kind of the way that my brain works, just ranking things. Final Destination Bloodlines is already the clear-cut number 2, only underneath the original Final Destination in my ranking. Nothing will ever touch the original. It's just too perfect. I love Devon Sawa, and it's just so iconic. There's that iconic thing about those original movies, but this movie kind of had it all. There was this thing that happened with this franchise after the original, right? It's kind of trying to capture lightning in a bottle. The second one took itself very seriously in the same manner that the first one did, and that's what you love about the first one. It is clear-cut horror. It is so intense, and it's this new idea that you'd never really heard about, death coming for these people after they avoided this crazy accident. The second one also throws in a little bit of humor, a little tinge of humor, but there's really not that much. It's almost just like a carbon copy of the first one, and that's what oftentimes happens with sequels. I love the second Final Destination almost for that reason, because you're watching it and you're just going, okay, we're just kind of getting the same thing. Then the third one rolls around and they sort of did the same thing again. There's a little bit more humor in that one. They kind of just kept adding to the mix, but I feel like the third one almost gets way too much hate, because I recently watched that before heading into this one, and I freaking love the third movie. But then for me, the fourth one really falls off the rails, and then the fifth one kind of comes back in a cool way, especially the ending twist. But going into this one, I wasn't sure what they were going to be doing. Were they trying to recapture the magic of the first one, or were they really trying to make their own stamp? And what they did truly shocked me. They tried to make their own stamp, and they absolutely did make their own stamp and impression on this franchise. It is easily the most unique entry to this entire franchise. It is so freaking hilarious, and that's something that I think could be a give and take with the fan base. Some people might not enjoy that, but with how clever the humor is and with how funny it is, you can't help but laugh. It's not just cheesy knockoff jokes for the sake of having a joke. There are a couple characters in this movie that are just absolutely stellar and absolutely hilarious, and it adds to everything while also bringing this sort of meta commentary in a similar way that maybe you saw Scream 5 do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys remember when they had Wes walking around the house and he's like opening up the cabinets and then closing it, and it's like the music gets all tense. It's like, oh, and it's all these tropes of like the character right behind it. This movie does that in a really cool meta way with death. It's kind of showing the cliche ways that the other sequels may have taken very seriously, and they're trying to build it up like it's this scary thing, but it does like the tropes, and it kind of makes fun of itself, but at the same time then something really scary and out of nowhere happens, and so you have sort of the best of both worlds. The kills are so freaking great in this movie, and there are plenty of them. You know what I mean? It's like at the beginning of every horror movie, you kind of try to take note of how many characters are in this thing and might be involved, so you're like, how many you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay. But in this movie, when you see how many people you're working with, you're like, oh my gosh. Also, the way that this movie starts, it's not your typical Final Destination movie. It really flips everything on its head, and that's what I enjoyed about it. It's very, very different than any other entry in the franchise. It's very unique. It could be a good starting point for the franchise to kind of kick itself off again, but if this was like the last movie that we got and they didn't continue, I feel like it also was just a really great Final Destination movie to have out there now. The directors, Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein, they just understood the assignment. After all these years waiting for a Final Destination movie to come out, I just wanted to go to the theater and enjoy myself and have a good ass time, and that's exactly what this movie is. The one thing I kind of just want to like get this off my chest because I've been thinking about it since I left the theater, but if you're a teenager or you're somebody in your young 20s or just somebody in general that has never experienced a Final Destination movie in the movie theaters, go see this movie. Like, please, for me, for Jones Vibes over here, go see this movie and feel what it's like with a packed audience, maybe on a Friday night, Saturday night, to watch something like this, because some of the kills and some of the situations and some of the moments are so out of nowhere and so insane. It's just something you have to see with an audience and on a big screen. And watching a Final Destination movie with a bunch of people, it's a collective experience that I don't think you'll ever forget. I'd say that within this franchise, it's almost like death is the main character and the cast is always coming in second. Some people might say that that's blasphemy, and there are some great performances throughout this franchise, but I would say very much like the very first one with Alex, with Devon Sawa, yes, that's like iconic, and he is at the forefront of it, but then after that, it's kind of just like disposable pieces, you know what I mean? I felt like this movie did a good job at catching you up to speed, getting to know these characters, and having you interact with them enough to actually feel something for them. I really appreciated that, and I think that's something that this Bloodlines theme adds to the franchise in a big way, because you do have family, you have the bond of family and what that means to people. It's one thing to watch your classmate get hit by a bus, you know what I mean? You're like, oh no, Terry, that sucks. But it's a completely different thing to watch your mom, watch your dad, watch your brother, watch your sister, watch somebody like that, you know what I mean? And so it hits on a really deep level. It is a pretty big cast, so I'm not going to talk about everybody. The only two people I really want to talk about is the main girl, Stephanie Reyes, played by Caitlin Santawana. I thought she was fantastic. I really thought she was fantastic. She holds it down as the main character. She guides this entire thing. Obviously, with these films, the writing can be whatever, the dialogue can be whatever, but having a main character that is constantly holding it down, that just does wonders for the entire film. Then the second one that I want to talk about is just this guy. He's the cousin of the main character, and his name is Eric, and he's played by Richard Harmon. This is an actor that I had never seen before. At least he looked familiar, but I guess I hadn't really seen him in anything. But this man is the source of all of the humor in this film, and I just want to say, bravo. Bravo to this guy. Unbelievable job. I don't know if they were doing ad-libs or what they were doing, but they clearly were having a lot of fun on set within this, and you could just feel it. And that character, Eric, man, he is so freaking funny. But I guess the final person that I want to talk about is Tony Todd. This movie did a very beautiful thing with the character of William Bloodworth, and the way that they actually tap into his story a little bit and give you a little bit of insight as to his past and his history within the franchise. But they also give a very nice nod and send off to the character in a way that I thought that it was beautiful. Like when he appeared during our screening, everybody clapped, man. I really don't know all the details. I don't know if he was sick during production and they kind of just like knew that, but however they wrote this part, it was just a very, very beautiful thing, and I loved seeing Tony Todd on screen one last time, especially in this franchise. But it is more brutal than I ever could have expected. Some of the ways in which people die in this film are it's just what you want to see when you go see something like this. It's so surprising. I don't want to give anything away for you guys because I want you to have the experience that I just did, but it's so creative, so disgustingly awful. I absolutely loved it, man. It's just the way that they use these little tiny things, man, the little small details within life that could just go horrifyingly wrong at any point. It's so crazy, and I'm so happy that they capitalized on it and that they did a good job, man. So go see Final Destination Bloodlines. That's going to be the end of my rant. As always, I do want to give my Jones Vibes star rating. And my friends, I'm giving this movie 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I got no doubt about that. But again, make sure to leave me all your thoughts down in the comments. I would love to know what you thought about Final Destination Bloodlines. Also, my friends, make sure to hit like on this video. That greatly helps it out. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But more than anything, make sure to keep up the good vibes. I'll see you in the next video. Peace!